The Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you, as always, by patreon.com/JuRY. That is where you support the show. We had, I think, our best week ever on the Patreon. Thank you to everybody, of course, for continuing to support the program. We're going to do another In Your House tour. We're going to talk a little bit about that on the show today. But, I mean, man, what more can I say? You guys are just the best. Again, patreon.com/JuRY. But enough of talking about how we do the show. What do you say we just do the damn thing? Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is the Justin Robert Young podcast. I'm coming to you not from my normal home, my normal area in Oakland, California, but rather from the Brian Brushwood Studios here in Austin, Texas. It just looks amazing. And this is nuts. This is actually me. I feel like this is so much more professional than what I have in Oakland. Like, we've got such a beta version of this amazing independent broadcast area, man. It just looks so super cool. So welcome everybody. Man, we got to move. Jeez. That was all the energy I had. I just gave it all. We just went, I've literally been drinking since the election. Like, we went 8 hours on the stream on the election. We were drinking. Everybody was drinking. I was getting drunk in onesies. I had my panda onesie. And then I had a donkey onesie and I had an elephant onesie. I put on the elephant onesie at the end of it. The end of the night, man, stuff got loose the end of the night. The Bay Area was mad. Bay Area was very, very, very upset with how the election went. I'll just let you guys know that. Like it was a weird scene. And luckily I got out of there. I got out of Oakland by the time that they started smashing all the buildings and lighting federal stuff on fire. So then I come down here to Austin. Because Brian and I, on the stream, on the election night stream, we go ahead and decide that now's the time that we need to bring our family together, right? You know, we might have been two-piece signs throughout this election, but wherever you are on the spectrum, we want our culture to be united. So we're like, the best way we can do that, let's spend the cash, let's move my flight up. We'll do not only a live show the day after the election, but we'll still do what we had planned to do, which is me to stay an extra day after this wedding that I had in Austin and do another show. So the other show will be tomorrow. But let's focus on this drinking, okay? So, drunk, election night. That goes late. You know, it's about, I think probably like 10 or 11 Pacific time, at the point that Donald Trump gives his victory speech. Hillary Clinton, of course, did not talk. But I wake up. I got to get up early. I got to get on the flight. Go down to Austin. Get to Austin. Immediately we're doing Night Attack. So Mike TV's here. Brian's here. Guess what we're doing? Drinking. Oh, okay. All right. So then the next day, what happens? Everybody starts showing up for the wedding, but not the full crew. Not my full Florida fam. No. Just a few of them. So we go ahead and we're going in to drink. What else? What do you think we're gonna do? Haven't seen each other for a little bit. Time to go drink. Go drink. Wound up downtown Austin on Rainey Street. Those of you who aren't aware, Rainey Street is super cool. If you're ever down here in Austin, I would highly recommend it. If you live out here in Austin, then you know what the deal is. Find ourselves in a bar that has another bar inside of it. There's a little all the Rainey Street houses. Well, they're all houses, is what I'm saying. The bars are houses, so it's kind of like this, very elaborate, if frat parties were professionalized, right? And this one has a little shack in the back of it. And so on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, they open up a little mezcal bar. What's mezcal? It's tequila, I think. I don't know. But in general, you know what's the old saying? Beer before liquor, never sicker. Liquor before beer in the clear. Disregarded it. Mezcal has the worm, is what I'm being told here in the chat room. So we start drinking. We'll continue drinking. Now we're drinking mezcal. Now we're drinking Mexican mules. All right, and we got a very nice bartender. It's very cool. It's a nice night. The whole mezcal bar was themed to be like a Mexican church. Had all these funny little what are the candles that have the Jesus on them or Mother Mary? What is the things? The candles. Where my Latinos at? Where my Latinas at? Somebody in the chat room. Tell me what those are. That they got, it's like, oh, I'd like to light a candle, but I'd also like Jesus to look at me. Prayer candle? Is it a vocative? Anyway. My friends and I are drinking. One of my friends, she's tiny, man. She's just not a lot of meat on her bones, right? She's a tiny, beautiful girl. She gets too drunk. She does one of these, a votive. Votive? I think it's the votive candle. She does one of these moves. Takes a sip of her drink and then has that purposeful walk. Anybody who has ever seen this will know it exactly as it is performed. We don't realize how much in life all of our understanding of what happens is very pattern-based. Pattern recognition is what our brains are good at. So we don't realize that normally there's a little bit of a gait to a walk. You got a little bit of a slow motion, right? So when somebody's running very, very fast, it looks different. But you ever have those moments where you just know somebody's going outside to throw up? You just know. You know for a fact that's what's happening. And I don't know whether or not it happened. For the record, I don't. Maybe she was just out there to, do something. But it's just little purposeful walk. Hustles her ass on out of there. Time to wrap things up, right? Okay. Everybody calm down. We're gonna wrap it up. Except for the fact that I just got had a little bit of the lonely bug. So I'm like, well, I don't want to leave. You guys go ahead. I'm gonna sit here and talk to the bartender. Okay. Now, the bartender's a really nice guy, and he's really into mezcal, and he's explaining all these things like he's giving a whole tour. He's talking about, like the way that sun hits succulents and yada, 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 right? So now I start talking to other people. It's amazing who you run into at a mezcal bar within a bar on a Thursday night. Guy sits down, University of Texas sweater on, not from Texas, has never gone there. He's from Boston. So this is like this cognitive dissonance of this guy wearing this UT hook 'em horns kind of sweater, and he's just like, park the cat, have it yet. Nice guy. Sells paper. Glossy paper for big magazines. Turns out he's not doing so well anymore. Probably because everybody gets their stuff from people like me. I'm giving it away for free. And obviously I'm not going to make a glossy magazine, but maybe I should. Maybe we should all put together a commemorative edition each year. A little something that you can leave on your dining room table so everybody can understand that, what a Captain Morgan reference is, I guess. So I go to sleep, I wake up. Man, I'm paying for it the next day. Paying for it. Drinking. Too late. But of course, the next day, my friends, the rest of my friends, are coming into town. Oh, no. And now I'm move all my stuff down to into downtown Austin because I'm going to this wedding, so we're all staying at the same hotel. And guess what, guys? Guess what we did? Guess what we did? We went drinking. Decided that I was going to get a haircut and a beard trim while I was down here before the wedding. Make an appointment. Break it. I'm not exactly sure where any of this is going. I drank then, and then, the next day is the wedding. We start getting drunk during the day. We keep getting drunk throughout the night. I wound up falling over. I tried to sit on a table. I fell over. I had to be escorted back to my hotel for my own safety. And then I woke up in a full suit. You know that you have done some drinking when you wake up in a full suit. I literally don't have anything on my rundown here. Literally all I have on my rundown is wedding. Fuck. I can't drink like that anymore. Fuck. So I've now hopefully I've hit 3 of them. But I'm just realizing now, like literally, as we're about to go on, I'm like, well, what am I going to talk about? Literally, this is all I've done. This is it. I haven't talked to my wife. My wife's in the chat room. She's like, hey, call me when you're done, Junkie McJunkerton. Well, okay, I will. I have not. I mean, there's literally been nothing else that I've done. I don't know. I don't know if I should feel bad about it. I don't know if I should feel good about it. Like, I don't know. Like, it was certainly fun to do. And I'm going to talk more about this on politics. New day for politics. By the way, we're moving back to 1 episode a week, and that episode will take place on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Right? But I just, man, I guess I was running from the outcome in this election, and not necessarily in any way that, like, I mean, I didn't vote for either of them, so I was okay with either of them getting the presidency, right? But at the end of the day, people were mad, man. Like we built up a lot of anger during this election. And even if just for, a couple days to be just really irresponsible and shirk my duties and just dive into a 172 more than 72 hour binge, you know, yeah, it was escapism. Yeah, it was something that I probably wouldn't repeat. Christ, I shouldn't repeat it. I feel like a pile of garbage. Wet garbage. But everybody was having a good time. It's hard. It's hard to avoid a good time, right? We all go through stuff. And when the world is just, in flux, it's easy to just go back to what feels good. Poodle Puncher in the chat room says, for a good time call. Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe I was just going back to what's been easy. Maybe, it was something that just needed to happen. Or didn't. I don't know. Obviously, listen, I got a lot of internal conflicts about drinking, what with my dad and everything. And, my entire life, all I've had is people in my family worry that I'm going to become an alcoholic. And so, I remember one time I was, God, I can remember. I think I was 8. And my grandpa would always have a glass of red wine with dinner. See, when we were growing up, my grandma would pick me and my little brother up from school every single day because she was basically the free child care rather. And we would always eat dinner. So we would eat dinner because they were old as fuck, right? So they would eat dinner early in Florida. They would eat dinner at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I get picked up from school. School would get out at 2, right? We get in the car, have fruit snacks, and then go watch whatever it was the rock block of Disney after school cartoons. So it was like cycling through DuckTales, Chippendales, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, that stuff. Grandma would make dinner. At dinner, Grandpa would always have a glass of red wine. And I remember one time, as childhood curiosity, right? I wanted to try the wine. So I went over to, my grandpa. He would always be to my right. And my grandma in front of me, my grandpa on my right. And then I would sit next to my aunt, her sister. She was technically my great aunt, but she was just Aunt Glo. And then my brother at the end. So I asked my grandpa, could I have a sip of wine? And my grandma reached over and stopped it, intercepted. In my mind, I can remember this second like it was yesterday, right? Like she just comes in with this like tomahawk chop. In my head, it was just a pa right there, right out of his hand. And even when I was a kid, I was like, man, that's kind of weird. Like it's just an interesting thing to happen. And then I realized what it was. Like, she didn't want me to have a sip because she was worried that I would turn out like my dad. Now, I don't really know. And she said that to me. She said that then. There was always this sense that I was just like this tipping time bomb. One day, I would evolve into my final form. We need to keep him away. Elsewise, the reaction will catalyze. And I'll become like my dad. Now, a lot of people might know about my family history because I've talked about it a lot on this and other shows. But, my dad's an alcoholic. He ruined his life. Repeatedly. That dude was a very charismatic human being. So much so that he has served to like Sisyphusian levels of sadness. He just keeps rolling a boulder up a hill only for it to then roll back on top of him. So I don't know. I guess so here's the question. Like, is it a mental block with me? Do I worry about alcohol on a certain level? And fundamentally, does it really matter? Because aside from me, doing it to excess, like I just did over the last 4 days, and, certainly kind of hits the wallet a little bit, like everything else seems okay. In general, I'm not a terrible belligerent drunk. I think I've tended to strengthen my relationships that have involved alcohol. I haven't yet, had things be worse. So I don't know why I'm worrying, and yet I worry. Because I guess I'm worried that I'm going to turn into my father. I'm worried that I'm going to ruin my life because of alcohol. I'm worried. You know what I think about? I think about this all the time. I wonder at what point my father had an idea of where his life was at and where everybody else understood that where he thought his life was at and his prioritization of the problems became delusion. Because there had to be a point. There had to be a moment when at first, things were side by side. He understands the facts of his life. The rest of the world understands them as well. And then at some point, there had to be a divergence. Or maybe the truth stays still. He kind of veers off. Kind of like the way he was veering on the highway when he got a DUI. And I'm just constantly worried that I'm going to be at that point. And maybe it's not alcohol. Maybe I just, at some point just get selfish or do something stupid. Like, I guess I try to be present. And I just wonder if I'm not. I think that's why I share all this. That's why I do, I've had people email and write in and everything and talk about how, why do you share this kind of stuff? Like, why is this out there? Where do you get even the idea to think that, like, this is something you want to do? Because I know this for sure. That the way I will lose my path in life is when I'm all up here. Is when I let my brain run the entire show by itself without any kind of feedback. But you guys, you watching me right now on diamondclub.tv, you listening to me right now when you're on your way to work or you're coming back or you're going to school, you guys will keep me honest. You guys will let me know if this is something that starts to seem a little weird, right? You guys will be the ones to make sure that I don't lose my way. And maybe that's a lot to that's a lot to put on somebody. But I mean, there's a lot of you guys, right? And there's just one of me. So, you don't really have to do a lot. Everybody, you can just can just take a little part, right? We'll get a little Google Doc, right? We can all assign issues, so you can just look for the one thing. Here's somebody, Tram in the chat. I'm just going to call out names in the chat room. Tram in the chat room. You can take, is JuRY racist? It's not going to be that big of a thing, right? It's just every week, you listen to the show. All you got to think, is JuRY racist? Is he slowly becoming a racist? Oh, okay, cool. That's a no. Cool. We can get a straw poll every week on every little thing in my life. As JuRY descended into alcoholism, YN. The verdict's in. Tram already right now in the chat room says, so far, no. Good. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know that I am as of right now not yet a racist. This became a lot more self-involved than I thought it was going to. But in general, every once in a while you just got to get out here and just sort of show your butt a little bit. I don't know why I made this even so maudlin. Because by and large, it was everything I love about my life. What I love about America. What I love about my friends. What I love about Florida. It's just such good people, man. I just love everybody that I was around, and we had exactly the same kind of time that we do. But you want to know what? I mean, maybe maybe I feel guilty. Maybe I feel guilty that you can have those moments. Man, we were out at the Steampunk Saloon yesterday playing air hockey, watching college football, drinking beer. And holy crap. Holy crap, man. In that one moment, it was just all there. It was just so fun. And then we went to this wedding. Oh my God, what a gorgeous wedding. Just amazing. Just fantastic. Out on the dance floor, cutting a GD rug, man. Cutting a GD rug. Then I got too drunk. Eventually you got too drunk. Eventually it happened. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm worried that I brought imperfection to perfection. That everything was going fine, and then I stumbled a little bit on the landing. Taking a header into an extended stay mattress in a full suit. The tie was still on, by the way. God, speaking of that suit, got a new shirt and a new tie while I was here. Thought that was going to be easy. And went and I bought, as soon as I walked into this menswear store, man, it was just a problem. I knew it was waiting. It was lying in wait like a coiled snake, waiting to bite me right on the butt. Because one of the first thing I noticed, no price tags. No price tags. Very professional, posh, a British guy comes up to me. What do you want? He said it in the British. Hey, what do you want? Hey, what do you want now? So I need a white shirt and I need a tie. I need a black tie. Okay, cool. Goes to get it. I put it on. It looks nice. It's a great looking shirt. I wore it on Daily Tech News Show. It kind of looks like, and this is bad because, these things cost like a portion of a cent, but it's like, it's a white shirt that kind of looks like a Dixie napkin. Like it has a Dixie napkin kind of feel to it. Like it has like these little tiny shards, right? Wear it. I get a knit tie. Never had a knit tie before, but everything I'm like, Man, it's going to be expensive. This is going to be expensive. But I don't want to go find... I don't want to go find... another Sears, right? I just don't want to spend any more time. I want the problem to be over. I just need a shirt and a tie. So, I get up there. I'm not going to say how much it is. It was too much. I'll tell you how much it is if somebody guesses it exactly on my Twitter. If somebody guesses it exactly. I was not at Sears. I was at League of Rebels or something. It was a douchey name. It was like the cool Blade Fest 98, like motorcycle mouse man. Yeah. Just something where it's like you're a professional now, but you're not your dad's professional. You're a new robot president creature. And as I'm there, and I'm literally, I have my card out. I got my card out, and I'm holding, handing him my card as he tells me what it costs. And for a moment, I was just like, oh, my arm I wanted to fall off, my arm. Maybe that would have been the only way I was going to be able to get out of it, because between me not wanting to solve the problem another way, liking the shirt, I just, maybe if my arm literally severed from my body and just went rolling around the floor, I would say, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I cannot buy this shirt right now because my arm fell off. I'll tell if somebody gets it exactly right. I'll say it on Twitter at Justin R. Young. A lot of grousing, a lot of weird. A lot of fun Austin stuff. Listen, I love Austin. Austin's just such a great city. But goddamn, man, if this shit ain't getting San Franciscotized in a hurry, in a real hurry. Like there's still the little bit of that weird Austin grime to it. Yeah, that's pretty fun. But holy crap, dude, it's all coming here. It is shocking how similar those cities, are kind of becoming now. All right. Enough about me. Let's go ahead and talk about you. You can send in your emails to justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Again, justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Sam writes, have you ever noticed that the three things that you're passionate about, wrestling, magic, and politics, are basically the same thing? I really kind of wanted, initially I was just going to have this be the episode. I was just going to talk about why I love all these things. And then I wound up just grousing about myself. Hopefully that was good. Hopefully y'all like that on some level. I was worried because I want to be honest with everybody. I think that's part of the brand. Every once in a while, you just got to clean out the closet in public just to make sure that everybody knows. But, at some point people might just be like, dude, come on, whatever. What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, let's talk about this. Wrestling, magic, and politics. What's similar about magic, wrestling, and politics? Well, number one, there's a huge cross-section of people who are professional magicians that are very much into wrestling. Probably the biggest is Max Maven. Max Maven is one of the greatest mentalists alive. He is awesome. He's a tremendous font of knowledge. He has an encyclopedic, understanding of the art and loves wrestling. In fact, that's a goal. Next time I'm in LA, I want to do a wrestling chat with Max Maven. See if we can get that set up. I don't know how many wrestlers love magic though. I guess I'm not close enough to like the working professionals of wrestling to understand how many of them might be into like, David Blaine, right? But why? What is the through line? What is the one thing that unites magic, politics, and wrestling? Well, they're all performance arts to a certain degree. Wrestling obviously is a physical a performance art. Not to say that magic and politics are not, but if you're talking about the kind of politics that I really, really like, which is campaigning, right? Campaign politics. That's a lot of going out there and finding out what the crowd wants, right? Actually, you want to know what? I think I just hit on it. Here's what I love about all three. It's about the crowds more than it is about the performer. The performer is defined by how well they can interact with the crowds. I mean, I had this whole thing, right, for when I did my the stand-up thing at Nerdtacular. That professional wrestling is amazing because it is the crowd's show. You are fulfilling. I mean, because the idea of wrestling, professional wrestling, is how can we fix the best fights, right? Because here's the problem. People love fights. Who doesn't love a fight? Fights are great, man. Just a fight will spice up literally anything. Think of the most boring thing you could think of in your life. And now imagine two people fighting at it. It's instantly better. Right? Church, add a fight. Arby's, add a fight in the parking lot. Instantly the best time you've been to Arby's. Whenever you would go to that Arby's, you would say, oh my God, I love the Big Montana sandwich. Remember when that dude punched that other dude right in the nose and his nose broke? That was amazing. That was great. So cool, we're going to sell fights for a living. Here's the only problem is that, sometimes people lose at inopportune times. It's just not, it's not great. So how do you do it the best? Well, number one, you want to build everything up so every fight can be suitably gigantic. And number two, you want to make sure that fight is the greatest thing ever. And so that's why you have all the conventions that you have in professional wrestling. That's why you have comebacks. That's why you have special moves, because you want to know inherently when we have come to the end of that fight. And sometimes it's surprising, sometimes it's predictable, but it's that story. And whether or not anybody in that crowd realizes it, it's all about what they want. It's like, oh, I hate my stepdad. Well, then we'll have some sleazy character come on out. Oh, I wish Batman would punch my stepdad. Well, look, oh my God, look who's, by God, that's Batman's music. Politics is the same thing. I mean, literally, this is what populist politics literally is. And I don't know if y'all have turned on your television or watched anything where I'm talking over the last week. We just elected a populist. Why? Because there were a lot of people that had a lot of things on their mind and they projected them up on that stage in auditoriums around the country, and out of his mouth popped the things that they wanted to hear. Boom. The crowd dictated it. Magic's a little bit more complicated because magic is inherently about you manifesting what you would like to happen, but always being wrong. Wrestling gives you what you want. Politics gives you what you want. Magic does not. It's stubborn. It's coy. In your brain, you're thinking, oh, okay, well, this happens every other time in my life that there's of this. The coin goes in the hand. You open your hand up. The coin's still there. But here, it's not. It's changed. Magic is mean. Magic is weird. And that's why we love it. That's why we like it. All three take understandings of how we are going to react to something physically and turns it on its head. By the way, everybody in the chat room naming things where they would like for fights to happen. And I like Cat Cafe. A fight at the Cat Cafe might be my favorite thing. Matthew in Canada writes the following. I recently took a short trip to New York City. This was my first time visiting, and I proceeded to explore the city by foot to do the normal tourist activities. So there I was walking around the city and noticed a Pret la Mange and thought about the bit from the UK episode, minding my own business and talking with my wife. We got a few more blocks, and what's this? Another Pret. Here I started chuckling in my head, but we continue walking. As we round the corner and head northward, I spy down the block. What? Of course, another Pret a la Mange. Now I start laughing out loud as I play back your thoughts in my head, and I have to explain the joke to my wife. For the rest of the weekend, I noticed every Pret we passed and had a good laugh to myself each time. I mean, I don't... beep, bop, beep, bop, bork, beep, bop. Maybe I just haven't been in New York City in a while. Is this normal? New York? Like, I need all my New Yorkers. Where are my New Yorkers at? Where's Manhattan? I need to know how far this Pret menace has infected our shores. Because I was shocked over there. I was shocked in London how many of those existed. And ever since then, I don't know. Did I just have my fingers over my eyes? Like that I didn't tell that these things were becoming the biggest thing on earth? Who knew? I didn't even know that was a thing that happened anymore. That just little breakfast shops popped up. I wonder, actually, here's something I do want to know. At the Prets in New York, do they have regular ass coffee? Because they did not in the UK. They did not have regular coffee. Everything was espresso. They didn't just have drip coffee. I'm still blown away by that. How can you not have drip coffee? Drip coffee's the best. Make a bunch of coffee, regular ass coffee. You pop, pop, pop. You walk in, you get it, you go. I don't need you to show me the goddamn physical receipt of how you're making this. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Ding, 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 ding. Let me clean this whole thing. It's an apparatus. Tram's a superstar of this episode, apparently. He says, no one has regular coffee anymore, JuRY. Beg to differ. Allow me to, let me introduce you to a little, store. Have you heard of it? It's called Starbucks. I don't know where that impression came from. McDonald's has coffee. Burger, everything has coffee now. Anyway. So we need to get to the bottom of this Pret thing. Crunchy is in the chat room. She has the following to say. I've had, based on our conversation last week about continuing to follow ex-girlfriends and boyfriends of your friends on Twitter. Or sorry, on Facebook, rather. Crunchy writes, I've had situations with having friends and their exes on Facebook only a couple times. I became good friends with a guy and started dating one of my coworkers. I hung out with her 3 or 4 times a year, but she was fun, interesting, and super nice. He was a raging dick to her, always saying inappropriate things like how he was better looking and could do better than her, but not vice versa. Crunchy adds, hypothetically, false. Or that she had no butt, so her body looked like a man's. He lost his virginity to her, then cheated on her because, quote, he didn't want to get married, only knowing what one vagina felt like. A month later, he broke up with her. I stayed friends with both of them on Facebook, considering I was friends with both of them. Uh, Considering I was friends with both of them, not related to the relationship, I moved across the country, but he would still text me on occasion. When I was visiting Ohio for the first time, I was upset when I realized that he deleted me from his Facebook. Considering I couldn't do much wrong to him from across the country, I'm assuming it was because I liked the statuses of her that said things like, for the first time, I don't miss you at all. It's so freeing. I thought we were good friends, so it hurt. But he was in the wrong this time, so his loss. All right. Well, that dude's a dick. Like, you know, I think that one comes out in the wash, right? Like, that's fine. She has example number 2. I hung out with another coworker. She took much more of an affinity to me than I did to her, but I would usually still hang out if she asked. She transferred to a store in Cincinnati that I helped set up, where she introduced me to her new boyfriend, the hardware manager. She broke up with him. I stayed friends. Since then, he has made much more of an effort to stay in contact with me than she has. That same visit to Ohio is the first visit. I went to his birthday party. It was much more of a college frat type party than I expected, but I had a lot of fun, and I posted pictures on Facebook of him shirtless when the guys decided to play strip beer pong. She liked it within 2 seconds. She hasn't unfriended me, but I haven't talked to her since. I talk to her little sister all the time, but he still talks to me on occasion. I'm not really concerned about being friends with people who make a big deal out of internet drama, so this has no effect on me. Well, it's just a weird thing, right? Like, isn't like, in a lot of ways, the internet just kind of amplifies the same kinds of issues that we normally have in life, right? But for whatever reason, this is, I think, a unique anomaly. The random fragments of our friends' broken relationships that, like junk in space, just finds a little center of gravity to orbit around. It's like, I don't know. I mean, because for me, Facebook by and large has kind of become a lot of people that I don't know, because I friend everybody who friends me. You can find me, Justin Robert Young, on, I think it's facebook.com/Justin Robert Young. And that's great. It just means that I just, it just means that I have a lot of statuses that people that I don't know. Tram says, it's the JuRY and Tram show tonight, that Facebook is better with a fight. Absolutely. Oh my God. There was a fight on Facebook between a couple of my friends, and it was awesome. Oh my God. They were like just getting in each other's business and bringing up personal stuff. Man, you're right. He didn't even need to actually throw hands. Like, it was just, ooh. It was one of those Facebook fights that kind of looks like it's skinny up top and then fat in the middle. It's like a pyramid, right? Because everybody is just starting to type more and more. Where it just starts out with like LOL, F you. And then it's like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And then by the end of it, it's War and Peace. Like, everybody is just writing a billion words. It's like, first of all, let's please bring the following things back to this. It's just hundreds of words. And there's dashes, right? There's like A, B, C in capital letters. And then they have to do a sub list to that list. So they have to go to numbers. Like, it is documented. It has sourcing. You ever get to these Facebook fights where people are, they have footnotes? These Facebook fights are so long that they're getting adapted into movies, Congratulations. The new franchise based on my friend yelling at his former girlfriend for having a baby is now being optioned into a 7-picture series. And then they'll remake them 5 years later, except all the characters will be gender swapped in different races. Like those kind of Facebook fights. Oh, jeez, I love them. Well, of course, yeah. Now everybody had the politics one, which I guess is kind of makes me a hypocrite. Because before I was just saying, hey, everybody, be nice to each other. And then I was saying how much I was enjoying your Facebook fights. I mean, I guess it can be both, right? It can absolutely be both. You can email me, just justinrobertyoung at gmail.com. Make sure that you just put JuRY in the subject line. I want to thank everybody for listening. You can get my Twitter and Instagram at Justin R. Young. You can go get me on Snapchat. Hit me up on Snapchat, man. Snapchat, Justin R. Young. Of course, you can join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Folks. Oh, crap. I never brought up the In Your House thing. Okay, so on Election Day, bonus episode! On election night or the night before, I was so excited to see so many people supporting the show that I said that I was going to do another In Your House tour if I passed $800. And not only did we pass $800, man, like we went way past $800. We were like hovering around 900 for a little bit. So here's what I'm going to do. I think the earliest we'd be able to do it would probably be January. So that'll give us plenty of time to submit your requests. Last time it was Hot Beverages who put together the winning proposal for Cincinnati to be a part of the tour. We put together Louisville and Chicago. I will say that especially in January, I might favor cities with less snow than those with snow, but you never know. You just got to put together the best pitch. This was super fun the last time we did it. Hopefully it will also be very, very, very fun now. So here's what you got to do. Just write into justinrobertyoung at gmail.com and say why you would like to host the city, or that I should talk up the city and see if somebody wants to host it. This also just gives me a better idea of where the hood at. I need to find out where you guys are, so I can come and see the most of you that I can. So that is happening. That will happen. I'll do another In Your House tour, and drink for another 3 days straight, which is what happened the last In Your House tour. So go ahead and check that out. Okay, here we go. Thank you to Hot Beverages for reminding me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you find yourself a mopey mess after 4 days of drinking, I feel so much better after doing this episode, by the way. Thank you, guys. If you find yourself holding a grudge against your grandmother for not letting you sip wine when you were 8 years old, if you find yourself in a fight on Facebook that I am very much enjoying, if you are a wrestler who secretly enjoys magic, well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Justin Robert Young, and I am reminding you to please don't die. Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.